The following was a submission from Edward, who tells us that the men in the video were walking through an abandoned office building which was said to be demolished in the next few months, and which needed to be inspected for several reasons first. It is unknown if the building had any paranormal history. However, the two men captured something quite strange the following day that they couldn't really explain. It would appear that somebody was sitting in the chair for a brief moment, and when they came back to double check, nobody was there anymore, mysteriously gone. To this day, they have no idea if this was some kind of prank or if something inexplicable had transpired. If the two men weren't in on it, it is quite puzzling for sure. The next video is quite strange and was recorded by a young woman in Querétaro, which is home to a quite famous dam in the area called the Centenario de Tequiscuapa Dam. Several accidents had occurred there over the years, from people gone missing and even remains that were being found in there. Prior to the next video we want to take a look at, The Dark Dimension had featured a mysterious user submission which showed another inexplicable incident in the waters of that dam. A man had recorded a glowing person standing in the waters. Strange for sure, but now we're taking a look at the video from the young woman, who also visited the dam with a couple of friends one night, and they saw something similar. Keep in mind, the waters of the dam are incredibly deep, so it is impossible for any human to stand in there.
Sí, ya se metió hasta fondo, hasta la va casi hasta mitad.
Es que no sale aquí. Vean esto.
Ok, gracias.
Ay, ya lo vi. ¿Es ese, no? Señor, véngase.
Véngase.
Camine, siga la luz para acá.
No, hágase, estoy para acá.
Véngase para acá. ¿Sí viene?
Sí.
Véngase para acá.
No, vaya a jalar y no. Yo no.
Venga.
Ay, no manches. Sí.
Señor, venga para acá.
Tráigalo con la mano. Háganse para acá. Tráigalo. Tráigalo una mano.
Güey, que trae una pistola.
Oye, tráigale una mano. Vámonos.
How is this possible? How could anybody be illuminated like that and walk through extremely deep waters unbothered? To many, it's without a doubt that we are seeing a real ghost sighting here, and I have to say, I do agree. The following was a live stream recording that Melissa Simic, a man from Croatia, shared on his Facebook page at the time. He was traveling a few months ago and decided to venture to an old graveyard situated in the Alps. He stated that inexplicable noises were the reason at first why he was drawn further into the graveyard. And he didn't expect anything out of the ordinary really, but he made out two scary looking figures up a little hill.
Ne znam da li je moguće. Ne znam da li ste vidli ili mislim možda što sam sam ovde. Kao da mi se učinilo. Ne znam da li ste vidli, molim vas zavratite. Ništa se ne vidi. Ništa ne vidim I dalje. Čini mi se kao da je mrdnulo malo. Ovo mrdnulo.
He thought that this might have been angels at first, perhaps, and describes the figures pretty mist-like. They were moving their arms quite weirdly, and he also swears that these were no statues. People on the internet state that they look pretty malevolent, almost like angels of death. In the end, we cannot be certain what exactly we are seeing here, but I find it's quite the terrifying image. What do you think? Just statues? Or is something else going on here? This video was shared by Caxlan01, who tells us that after moving into what he describes as one of the most haunted houses he ever experienced, things started to fall apart rather quickly. The man shared lots of poltergeist encounters with his viewers, but at a certain point he was sure that the spirit of a little child liked to manifest ever so often to scare him even more. The reasons are unknown. This was one of the latest recordings that he shared with his viewers. Is it possible that we are actually seeing the spirit here? It almost looks a bit too perfect in my opinion, and makes me think of the works of a similar channel. But who knows? I wasn't there after all. This capture was shared by Pasillo and was forwarded to him by a viewer. They told him that they took a snapshot that night of the uploader's wife and their grandmother, who passed away shortly after taking it. Eventually, they went through the pictures, and the fact that this was one of the very last pictures of their grandma made it just so much more eerie. They saw somebody else in the back that wasn't there at the time and that nobody could recognize. It looks like a sinister, laughing apparition. If it was related to Grandma's passing, it's not very likely. But it still begs the question, why exactly this thing was captured on tape though? How strange. This video was found on a channel called Ricardo Costa. The channel doesn't feature anything particularly interesting besides the following clip. It is said that the young people were hanging out at a friend's house at night, and they were tampering with a ghost board. After they had moved on to another game, some very interesting activity got captured. At first everything appears to be normal game night, until something odd is appearing on camera. It appears that a creature is running by in the background on all 4 of his limbs. It is hard to make out, but some say it reminds them of the rake. What do you think? They realize instantly that something is with them in their home and start to look for possible answers. Then they catch it once more, how it escapes through their living room. It appears to be more humanoid in this capture, although the head is kinda disproportionate to the rest of its body, and the limbs are really thin. When the 3 friends then try to find this creature once and for all, it is suddenly gone. What's your opinion? Of course we don't know what really happened here. For all we know, it could also just have been one of their friends, pulling off a great show for us, the audience. Now we want to take a look at a video from TikTok user Ushioni66, and it is a family recording. I'm not sure what's gonna happen, but apparently it is really creepy and they might have caught a ghost by accident. Let's see. Alright, so they're outside of their property, enjoying the sunny weather with a little pool, with the baby, the kid. Oh no.
こっち見て。イエーイ。ピースしないんかい。
No, that did not happen. What was that? But based on the video description, nobody else was at home. Let's see again what was popping up out of that house here. Ooh. Is that a creepy face? Look at that, guys. An elderly woman, not like say middle age, but yikes, that's crazy and creepy. Now, could this be a family member? It was not seen at the time. Nobody else was home. I mean, we know that in these parts of the world there's a lot of roaming souls as well, right? User Raphael445 has shared the following surveillance footage on Reddit. He explains that one night his uncle saw 2 men appearing out of nowhere right outside their property, which was reason enough for him to get outside and tell them that his property was out of limits for them. What was a bit strange though is the fact that these men did not move once after they had appeared, and they could only be seen for certain moments before they were gone again. Sounds strange. Let's take a look. And this is the moment when his uncle is talking to these 2 guys, but they don't react, which is really odd. Clearly looks like there's 2 men standing, doesn't it? But let's think rationally. What else could that be? Some people say that it just could be some regular shadows, but where would that light come from? And it's pretty suspicious that they would disappear once the flashlight hits them. What is your explanation for that? A user has shared the following. He stated, "My friend sent me this last night. This is his house, and when he wasn't home, he got a notification that his camera picked up movement. Once he watched it back and saw this, he was shook and asked me what my opinion was. Any thoughts? Looks clear as day to me. On first glance, one could think that the owner himself is walking through the frame here, but this wasn't the case apparently. His friend had some really odd encounters in his apartment in the past, but nothing that would ever prove that paranormal activity is unfolding in there. So, did his camera maybe capture an intruder that night? Or are we looking at a paranormal incident here? Now this is a supposed Bigfoot sighting that was filmed in 2014 in Minnesota. The description reads that this was uploaded by North by Wild West. The camera woman was filming her Christmas tree and family when apparently she noticed something strange outside her window and decided to go check it out. Many viewers have said this is an authentic Bigfoot sighting, considering how candid it is and especially the way the dog reacts. Let's take a look.
Say Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas!
Tree. Oh my god. Did you see that?
Something's behind the garage.
That thing in the window? That little person?
Did you see that?
No, what was it?
I saw something walking in the distance right there.
It's really big. Oh my god, you see it?
Yeah.
Where?
Oh my god.
Oh, here, look.
No way.
That can't be.
What the? Oh my god, are you getting this?
I think so.
There's certainly somebody walking.
Oh my god.
Where's it at?
Up in the woods.
Oh.
Oh, there goes
Oh, no.
Is it gone? Well, the dog certainly will find it.
We're real scared of them.
Huh.
I don't know.
Well, I have to say, the way the dog reacts, this could actually be something legit. Just don't see where it is now. And where the dog went. Okay, the dog came back.
I hear something though. I still hear it.
Don't hear anything.
You guys hear?
If we see it again.
There it is, right over there.
Oh,
Oh my
this?
god.
no, this? Oh, there it is.
Oh my god. We better get back inside, guys.
Well, this was certainly an interesting recording. This either was a real Bigfoot encounter or it was Uncle George in a Bigfoot costume, scaring the family and playing out a skit with the rest of them. It is not a particular scary clip as it is mysterious, I find. It is quite mysterious. You know, I'm always questioning if this was a Bigfoot encounter, why would he be running around in front of housing area where people actually live? Is that realistic? Wouldn't you think you would find him deep in the woods? I mean, I'm not an expert about Bigfoot sightings, but it's just one of the things I question. I mean, there is certainly something or somebody. The dog reacted in a way that could mean it was a stranger. It was quite entertaining. So I give this clip a 7 skulls out of 10, since not really creepy, but really, really entertaining and cool if real. But once again, it's always hard to say. Hope you guys can agree with me on that. The next video was sent by Annabelle, and she states that she found it on the website of Point Paranormal, who were holding an investigation in the home of user Jaybird, who's living in a supposedly haunted apartment. He can hear strange noises in the nights, and even documented shadow sightings. The team from Point Paranormal installed a camera in his bedroom that night to capture anything strange that might occur. And after Jaybird went to bed, there is a really odd capture indeed. Something is pulling the blanket off of him. While he attempts to pull it back up, there's something else going with the blanket. Take a good look. Is it possibly an arm belonging to an apparition that's pulling that blanket? Really hard to make out, since the resolution is not the best. And just a couple of minutes after that, the blanket is being pulled again. In this case, it's a bit more easy to make out a shape that seemingly manifests its whole upper torso and that keeps dragging the blanket. Really a fascinating capture. What's your explanation for this incident? The team from Point Paranormal and Jaybird himself is sure that they could capture a paranormal incident here. Could that be so? The following TikTok has been recorded by a user named MGen, and in my book it's a really spooky one. There was a rainstorm causing havoc at the time, when she and her mom were situated in a greenhouse on their property. There was nobody else at home. Yet they captured something that looks like a child in the yard, which is really odd, because nobody knew this child when analyzing the footage afterwards. Let's see what they captured. Noticed it? Let's check that again. To be honest with you, this looks more like a woman with a child to me. Or maybe with something else in her arms. Is it maybe a former resident from another time period that used to live here? Or what else could that be? Can you see a child? Or do you see a woman? Or do you even have a better explanation? This clip was sent by John, and it features a young man who was Skyping with a friend while on the phone with a family member. Alone in his apartment, an unusual occurrence is unfolding right behind him. I mean, we all know this, talking to a friend on the phone while we are having an odd feeling that we are not alone in the room. A not further explained object can be seen, popping out of nowhere. The movement is pretty inexplicable. Even the young man wasn't sure what was going on here. Let's zoom in and check it out a bit closer. Some say it appears to be a torso, or that even a head is visible for a brief moment. Even with the filter applied, it is not 100% certain in my opinion. Although in this shot I believe it looks pretty similar to a shape of a man, undressed, his head facing the floor, and we see both his arms and legs. Could this be the case? Please let me know what you can see.